Did you know that most people that are wealthy, you would never know? If you ever read the book, The Millionaire Next Door, it's probably a 20, 25-year-old book now. It talks about what an average wealthy millionaire type person in this country looks like. And what's sad is in today's world in social media, if you go look online or you look at celebrities or athletes or musicians and you look at how those people got wealthy, that's a different category of person. These people that have made hundreds of millions or that are, way in a different stratosphere. But for the regular person that either owns a small business or that punches the clock at a regular 40, 50-hour-a-week job, most of the people that I know that have gotten wealthy, you would never, ever know. And by doing real estate for a living, obviously all our clients are either buying homes with cash or they have to go to the lender to get pre-approved. And it's amazing to me how some people who have fancy cars and fancy houses, and we go to sell their properties, they're literally broke. And other people move here in a beater vehicle, dressed in clothes that most people would think aren't very nice. And they're out here buying $1 and $2 and $3 million homes with cash. And it's funny because I like to ask them questions about what they did to get wealthy. And when you ask them questions, really at the end of the day, is they had some sort of steady income. Many of them did not make lots of money because it's always funny when you hear people that are going paycheck to paycheck. I know people that are paycheck to paycheck making 50 grand. I know people that are paycheck to paycheck making 500 grand. You see it all the time with people in money. It's kind of funny. It's either you understand how it works or you don't understand how it works. But what I see more than anything, which drives me crazy, is ridiculous, stupid spending. So as an example, I was the owner of a real estate brokerage for 17 years. And unfortunately for us, we had opened it up in 2005 and the Great Recession of 2007, 2008, 2009 hit. And we weren't making money. A lot of our realtors weren't making money. And it was getting to be kind of a dire situation. But then as things turned around in 2010, 11, and 12, and things started to get better, I remember one day walking out onto the deck of my building. So my building's a big rectangle and there's a deck off the front of it so you can look into the parking lot. And I remember looking over the side of the building and looking outside, and we had some front desk workers that I knew we paid by the hour. And I knew what every realtor in that building was making as far as their production levels and what kind of incomes they were making. And I was looking around the parking lot. And it was literally like the market had started to get better. People were starting to make money again. And it was literally like a car show out there. Brand new cars everywhere, expensive vehicles everywhere. And I remember looking because I was married at the time. And the two oldest vehicles in the entire parking lot were mine and my ex-wife's. And I'm just thinking about we own the company. And at that time, if I wasn't the most profitable agent in the office, I was one of the 3 or 4 that was. And I'm just looking at these bad financial decisions all these people were making, and it just happens over and over again. And I don't know if it's because they don't understand money and finance, or they're just living in the moment and they don't care what happens in the long term. It just makes me shake my head sometimes. So the reason I want to come on here today is it happened again on a much lower level. I was in the airport in Seattle, and they were selling Seattle Mariners sweatshirts. And it was basically a pretty standard blue sweatshirt with a Mariners logo on the front. You could probably buy the sweatshirt in most places anywhere from $20 to $40, depending on what logos are on it or what brand it was. And they were selling this Mariners sweatshirt in the airport for $99. I took a picture of the tag and I'm kind of thinking, if someone buys this sweatshirt for $99, then they better damn well be wealthy, because that's just crazy to me for just a regular old standard sweatshirt. And I see it in the airport all the time where they're selling bottles of water for $6 or snacks for exorbitant amounts. And it's just a little planning and a little preparation for people would get them in a situation where they wouldn't be spending money they don't have on things they don't need to impress people they don't know. And so if your goal and again, I'm trying to skew this to a younger audience. Again, I have 2 kids in their 20s, and I like to talk to them and their friends about things, money and finance. And here's what I would tell you. If you are someone that wants to be whatever your definition of wealthy is someday, or live a lifestyle, whatever that is that you're interested in someday, then there's just a handful of simple, small things that you need to do and you need to learn. And you can learn them all following this channel for free. I don't charge anything for them, and it will put you on a path to financial freedom that you never thought possible. And then as you start to earn more, as the money you make becomes a lesser and lesser percentage of money that you need to spend on your housing and your cars and your food and your healthcare and all the necessities of life, that as you start to build up more assets and you start to build up a smaller amount of overhead every month, you will be shocked and amazed about how much money will be built up. And, one of my favorite things to show young people is a long-term investment calculator. And you can find them online all over the place. If you type in investment calculator, or if you go, I'm a huge fan of his website, but if you go to Dave Ramsey's website and you go to free tools and you pull up the investment calculator or the retirement calculators, and if you're in your 20s and you start playing around with numbers in there, and whether it was $7,000 a year for a Roth IRA, or if you had a company where you were getting matching dollars, so maybe you ended up with $8,000 or $10,000 or $12,000 a year because you put in 4, 5, or 6,000 and your company matched it, or you bought your first home and you kept it as a rental and now you bought another home and you start to get rental income, and you start to just do these basic fundamental principles, right? Don't spend more than you make, live within your means, don't go into frivolous debt, and you do all these super basic fundamental things. It's amazing how quickly you'll win. And again, I guess I notice it more than most because I listen to the ads in the car where they're trying to get you to spend money on everything. TV ads trying to get you to consolidate your debts and keep you in debt long term. And it just goes over and over and over, trying to trap young people who many are, sorry to say it this way, financially illiterate, not understanding the short term, the long term, and how just some basic procedures will make you win at the game of money. It drives me absolutely crazy. And so the reason I came on here today, I literally just hop into my car, I'm driving around, and I just want you to know, if you start following this channel, we will show you, I will show you how it all works, how simple it is, how easy it is, how just some minor things you can do are. And the biggest thing is if there's two of you, right? So if it's two people sharing money and finances, two people trying to play the game together, if you can get on the same page and potentially live on one person's income and invest the other, or maybe you have to live on 1.5 incomes and take the other person's half income and invest it, you will be shocked from the time you're in your early 20s to your early 30s. You will have all the things in place that you need to win long term, like shockingly easy to win long term. And so that's why I want to be there for you. I have this channel. It's called Complete Money Playbook. I'm in the process. I'm going to create a class and a course. I'm just going to call it Finance 101. And it is going to be all about the super simple, basic stuff you can do to win. Now, once we're doing those simple, basic things, then we can talk about doing more exotic things, trying to do bigger chance things, trying to figure out ways to really, maybe hit more of a home run. But I'm telling you, if you just hit singles and doubles and just keep doing the slow and steady things, I know it's not sexy. I know it's not, fun to feel like, hey, I've been doing this for 10 years and I did it from 23 to 33 and it doesn't feel like there's a lot of money there. But I'm telling you, you will be shocked, utterly shocked and amazed on what will be there long term. So if you have questions, you want to reach out, you want to figure out who I am, just go to Instagram. My name is Brian Lessinger. We have channels for it. And again, my day job, my degree's in finance and economics, and I sell real estate for the last 25 years. So I can help you get wealthy with the stock market. I can help get you wealthy with retirement accounts, with non-retirement accounts, with real estate. These are those fundamental things. And then over time, if you're doing all the fundamental things and you decide you want to try to win at crypto or individual stocks or commercial rental property or residential rental property or many other things that people can invest in, you can do those things. But the goal is pay yourself first, 20% off the top, live on the other 80%, never go into more debt than that. And then smartly, whether you're starting a business, whether you're trying to buy rental properties. Don't get caught up, and you see these videos all the time about people going into massive debt and using leverage and bragging about how much debt they've gone into so they could buy multifamily buildings and commercial properties and businesses and storage units and laundromats and restaurants. And telling you, these can be smart things, but they can also be very dangerous things. And so don't let people shit on you for renting versus buying. And I'm a realtor. Don't let people shit on you for having a regular 40-hour-a-week job versus being an entrepreneur or 3 side hustles or another job. There's lots of ways to do this. And what we have to do is sit down and talk about what's the best way for you and for your significant other. And sometimes you need to not listen to your friends, your family, your parents, your cousin, whoever it might be, because they might not be giving you the best advice for you. But I just know when you walk around in life, be very careful with how you spend your money. You don't need super fancy cars and super fancy houses and super fancy things until you can afford them. And then once you can afford them, then you can do the things that make you happy. But I will tell you this, life is a lot easier and less stressful and less anxiety ridden, and your health will be better and you'll feel more joy when you have no debts, you have no financial pressures, and you feel like you're doing nothing but winning in life and in the game of money. And then you have the time to spend with your kids, your family, your friends, to do the things you enjoy and the things you want to do, and not always feel this pressure and stress of all this money out to other people, all these payments I have to make every month, and all the things. Because I promise you, none of that stuff really matters. It really doesn't matter. So subscribe to the channel, reach out to me, ask me whatever questions you have. We're creating a new website. We're creating content. We're creating a course. We're going to teach you all the things that you need to learn in order to win this game. And I'm doing it because I want my kids to win. I want their friends to win. And I honestly get so sad when I keep meeting clients in their 60s, 70s, 80s that literally are living in a lifestyle that is so sad because they didn't make good financial choices as younger people, or maybe something just came up in their life and it screwed them up along the way. I'm not saying everybody's always going to win every time, but you just have to understand that you can really increase your chances. You can really put yourself in a situation that you can win, because Lord knows, in my 20s and 30s, I did all the right things. And if you go watch some of my other videos, I went completely broke in my late 30s. We were $750,000 in debt. So I know from experience, I did it once, lost it all, and now I'm doing it again. And like I said, at this point in my life, I feel really good about the situation I put myself in, my friends in, my kids in. And that's the group of people that I hang around with that are all in those kind of situations. And I can help you get there too. So again, reach out, subscribe, watch the videos, share the content, let your friends know. Like I said, at the end of the day, if you don't know who I am or whatever the case may be, I do this out of the goodness of my heart. I'm really so want people to win at this game to whatever level it is you're willing to put in the time and the energy and the effort for you to win. So we'll hopefully see you again here soon. And thanks for hanging out with me for this long. I appreciate it. And I'd be happy to reach out to me. Happy to talk to you.